Good day mga kamatiks! Kumusta kayong lahat dyan? Nandito naman ako si Sir Novero at welcome sa ating panibagong video. In this video, we're going to talk about adding and subtracting radicals. So sa last videos natin, we talked about the simplifying or simplifying on radicals, right? So particularly the 4 cases on simplifying radicals. If you may recall, these are the extracting the root, factoring the radicand, rationalizing the denominator. Last one is reducing the index. So if you haven't watched that yet, you can visit the channel and you can look for the video or you can type the comment below. Okay, so let's proceed. So ang objective natin sa ating video na to is to add, of course, add and subtract radical expression. So why is it that we put it together, yung addition at subtraction? Since yung concept nila is similar lang, no? So it's just the addition and subtraction, no? So and then the vocabulary is you need to know about the like or the unlike radicals. So first, let's have a short recall on like radicals or what are unlike radicals. So square root expression, so some mostly square root yung gagamitin natin, pero there are times that in the event in some cases there are cube root also and fourth root and so on. So square root expressions with the same radicand are examples of like radicals. Like for example here, like radicals 2 square root of 5 and 4 square root of 5, 6 square root of x and negative 2 square root of x, 3 square root of 40 and square root of 40. 2 and square root of 15 are unlike radicals. 6 square root of x and square root of 6x, 3 square root of 2 and 2 square root of 3 are unlike radicals. So if you have noticed, the one inside the radical are the same. So they are like radicals. And then also their index must be the same. At the same time, the radicand must be the same. So here the index is 2 and the radicand is 5. So here, one doesn't have a radical, the other one contains a radical, and then some are one character is outside. So I suppose it's obvious which one are like radicals and which one is an unlike radical, right? So again, like radicals must contain the same index and radicand. So like radicals can be combined by adding or subtracting. So this is where the topic goes in. You can use the distributive property to show how this is done. So for example, 2 square root of 5 plus 4 square root of 5. So what did you do here? You just factored out the common, which is square root of 5. So you added 2 and 4, which is 6 square root of 5. Or if you don't like it in that form, you can just add 2 and 4. Just copy 2 square root of 5. Right? So then another one is 6 square root of x minus 2 square root of x is equal to, so again you subtracted only the 6 and 2, and then just copy square root of x. So 6 minus 2 is 4 square root of x. So notice that you can combine like radicals by adding or subtracting, then the numbers multiplied by the radical and keeping the radical the same, right? So you just have to factor it out, or in any way you want. You can directly subtract the coefficients, which is the 6 and 2, negative 2. So combining like radicals is similar to combining like terms, or in algebra, right? So you're just going to, if you're going to replace square root of 5 as x, right? So we commonly add the 2 and 4 and then just copy x, if you still remember, right? So another one is 5x squared plus 7x squared, diba? Yung 5 at 7 lang yung ina-add natin, so it comes with 12x squared, and then we just copy the x squared. So similar lang din yung process, it's just this time yung titingnan mo is yung radical. So let's have here examples. 9 square root of 3 minus 4 square root of 3. So take note, they are like radicals. So you can just directly subtract 9 minus 4, which is 5. So 9 minus 4 is 5, then just copy square root of 3. 6 square root of x plus 8 square root of y. If you notice, they don't have the same radical, so they are unlike radicals. We cannot combine it, okay, even if we wanted to. Okay, so what's the combination? You just have to copy them. Then that's the answer, right? Letter C. Square root of m minus 7 square root of m, right? So if you notice, there no coefficient here, but if you still remember, square root of m is equal to 1 square root of m, or the invisible one, right? So the terms are like radicals, okay? So we can combine them. Then comes up with 1 minus 7, right? 1 minus 7, that is negative 6 square root of m. Another one is 2 square root of xy plus 2 square root of y plus 9xy. So only two of them contains a similar radical. So this one, 2 square root of xy and 9 square root of xy. The other one only y. So part of it are like radicals. So you just have to add the like radicals and then just copy the similar one, right? So 2 plus 9, that's 11 square root of xy plus 2 square root of y. Okay, so 2 plus 9, 11 square root of xy plus 2 square root of y. So we cannot combine this one, therefore this is our final answer. 11 square root of xy plus 2 square root of y. So sometimes radicals do not appear to be like until they are simplified. Okay, so in first glance you cannot you cannot really tell that these are like radicals. But if you try to simplify the radical, you will see that the radicals are like. So simplify all radicals in an expression before trying to identify like radicals. So for example, square root of 45 minus square root of 20. If you notice, 45 and 20 are not the same. But if you try to simplify square root of 45 and square root of 20, which and then you identify the factor of 45 and 20, which are perfect square, no? So which is 9 and 4. Okay, so then you take the square root of 9, separate natin. Square root of 9 times square root of 5 minus square root of 4 times square root of 5. Yung square root ng 9 is 3, square root ng 2 is, square root ng 4 is 2. So 3 square root of 5 minus 2 square root of 5. So if you notice, they are now like radicals. So we can now combine them. 3 minus 2, that is square root of 5, or 1 square root of 5 or square root of 5. Right? Another one, 9 square root of 75 plus 2 square root of 50. So again, 75 and 50 are not the same, but there are factors here na perfect square. So you can factor them with 50 also. So 3 times 25, 2 times 25. So separate natin. 9 times square root of 3 times square root of 5 plus 2 times square root of 2 times square root of 5. Yung square root ng 25, 5. So 9 times 5, then square then yung sa kabila din, square root ng 25 is 5, no? So if you notice, 9 times 5 square root of 3 plus 2 times 5 square root of 2. So 9 times 5, that's 45, then 2 times 5, that's 10. Then we can say that these are unlike radicals, since the radicand are not the same, right? This one, simplify its expression. Square root of 75y minus 2 square root of 27y plus 48 plus square root of 48y. So the y are the same, no? But the numbers are not. So we can look for factors there. So 25 times 3, that's 75 man, diba? 9 times 3, that's 27. 16 times 3, that's 48. So square root of 25, no? Separate natin yung mga perfect square na factors, no? Then yung mga nasa red, and then we take the square root. 5 square root of 3y, which is the square root of 25, and then 2 times 3, square root of 9 yung 3. 4 is the square root of 16. So we multiply 2 times 3, and then that's negative 6. Just copy everything, and then if you notice, they now have similar radicals, so, or yung radicand and index nila are the same. So we can now combine them. 5 minus 6 plus 4, that is 3 square root of 3y. Okay? See tayo. So when you write a radicand as product, make at least one factor of a perfect square. So, anong pinapahiwatig nun? So, square root ng 54 plus square root ng 24, may mga factors sa kanila na perfect square. So, you can put it in this form, right? And then, factor na lang, you separate na lang yung perfect square. And then, take the square root of 9 and 4, which is 3 and 2, then just add them. Diba? 5 square root of 6. Another one is 4 square root of 27 minus square root of 18. No? So, factor ng 27 na perfect square is 9. Yung isa, 2. Ito, 9 and 2 din. 9 and 3, sorry. 4 square root of 9 times 3 minus 9 minus square root of 9 times 2. No? So, and then we take the square root of 9, yung itong dalawang 9. Square root of 9 times square root of 3 minus square root of 9 times square root of 2. Take the square root. 4 times 3. Square root of 9 is 3 lang. So 4 times 3, that's 12. Square root of 3. Just copy everything. Then if you notice, the radicands are not the same. So we cannot combine them because they're unlike radicals. So if they're unlike radicals, then we leave it as it is. This is our final answer, right? Okay, so 12 square root of 3 minus 3 square root of 2. Okay, so if we try to apply this in geometry, no? Let's say for example, in this figure here, find the perimeter of the triangle. Give the answer as radical expression. So you are asked to find the perimeter of this particular figure. So when you say perimeter, it's the total length itong sa lahat ng side ng triangle, di ba? So we only add them since it's perimeter. So if we add them, in this form, write an expression for perimeter. So perimeter is equal to 10 plus 13 square root of 5, perimeter ng triangle, plus 3 square root of 20. No? May unit pa nga yan. Factor 20 using a perfect square. So may factor si 20, di ba, ng perfect square, which is 4 and 5. So if you notice, ito si 4, pwede nating matake ang square root. Di ba? Now, the square root of 4 is 2. So, 10 plus 13 square root of 5 plus 3 times 2, which is 6 square root of 5. And then, we only combine these two since they only have, they are the ones that are like radicals. So, itong 10, we just have to copy it. So 13 square root of 5 plus 6 square root of 5 is 19 square root of 5. So our perimeter of the triangle is 10 plus 19 square root of 5 millimeter. Okay? Okay, so that is our perimeter. Now in this part, I want you to pause and try to answer everything. Pause and you can play later for the answers. And here are the answers. You can also pause and play for the part 2. And here is the answer. Wala pang unit, diba? So, lagyan natin. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for the next video.